It's now been over 2 weeks since Matt Rife became the new temporary owner of the Annabelle doll, and people still have not gotten over it. In fact, I went over on TikTok yesterday. I try to stay away from TikTok as much as possible, but I went over there yesterday just to check in to see how things are going. And for 2 weeks now, these people have been dissecting one photo that Matt Rife took with the Annabelle doll. They're claiming that the Annabelle doll is looking at Matt Rife in the picture. They're looking at different things in the background of the picture saying, oh, it looks like a demon's face is right here. Oh, it looks like there's a ghost standing behind Matt Rife. And look, I believe in the paranormal. I believe in the supernatural, but I don't believe in everything. Like, I don't necessarily believe that people are seeing ghosts in the photo of Matt Rife and Annabelle, but I do believe that Annabelle could have a negative effect on Matt Rife's life. Hell, in fact, Matt Rife is in the news right now for other reasons, because he's at the center of some stupid controversy that doesn't even make sense to me. I'll make another video about that in the future. But yeah, people are still obsessing over Annabelle. They're still obsessing over this photo. They're still kind of in shock that someone like Matt Rife is the new temporary owner of the doll and all of these other haunted objects, including Ed and Lorraine Warren's home and museum. People are still kind of, they're maybe in shock is the wrong term to use, but they're still kind of flabbergasted, to say the least. And everyone has an opinion on it, including me, including you guys in the comment section. But I'm always interested in hearing from people who are really deeply embroiled within the paranormal community. I don't necessarily believe in a lot of these psychic mediums, but I am interested in what they have to say about this situation, because a few of them have spoken out, and none of them have anything good to say. In fact, I don't think anyone at all has anything good to say about this Annabelle doll or Matt Rife becoming the new part-time owner of the doll. And I don't even have really anything good to say about it either. I mean, I'm happy. I'd rather the museum and the house, carry on instead of being demolished. I think it's important to keep Ed and Lorraine Warren's legacy alive. But at the same time, I just feel like Annabelle has not been handled properly, and I'm wondering if Matt Rife is the person that's going to handle her properly. Plus, Matt Rife is going to be on tour, doing comedy shows, doing Lord knows what. It's not like he's going to be there dwelling with the doll 24/7. So who knows what may happen with this object as people come to spend the night with it and what have you. But like I said, psychic mediums are speaking out, including one by the name of Matt Frazier. You may have heard of him, and he had a lot to say, and I found it interesting. So let's read some of what he had to say about this entire situation. Matt Frazier says that Matt Rife becoming the new owner of the Annabelle doll could unleash dark, aggressive energy. Matt Frazier says, because of all of the hype surrounding the Annabelle doll, from naming her to interacting with her and now putting her on display, people are unintentionally breathing life into something that should never be awakened. He says that the energy builds with every mention, every photo, and every attempt to provoke a reaction. This is not just an old doll. It is a vessel tied to dark earthbound energy. Dolls do not become possessed on their own. A spirit must be invited in, often through dark rituals or intentional acts of black magic. I want to pause right there, because I've been talking about this for weeks now. And I'm well aware that I'm part of this problem as well, okay? I'm not trying to separate myself from the problem here, because I guess in the grand scheme of things, I'm part of the problem. I've been wondering, and I've been thinking a lot about the Annabelle doll and this whole entire situation. And I've mentioned it in a lot of my videos about how I think that we're making the Annabelle doll more powerful than ever, right? If you want us to really buy into the myths and the legends and the stories behind Annabelle, then it shouldn't be far-fetched for us to believe that, hey, we're making this object more powerful by devoting so much energy to this object. We're talking about this object, we're sharing photos, we're sharing videos. You're taking this haunted doll on a tour of the United States. Now you got celebrities buying the doll that are going to bring even more attention to the doll. We're making this entity, not the Annabelle doll itself, but the entity that is supposedly attached to this doll or inside this doll, we're making it more powerful than ever. And like I said, I'm part of the problem because I'm making videos too. But I'm making videos trying to warn people that, hey, maybe we shouldn't go down this route. And tomorrow or the next day, if this problem goes away and I never have to talk about Annabelle again, I'll be okay. Because my channel does not depend on me talking about Annabelle or any particular story. I could cover any story out there, right? So I'm not depending on Annabelle to bring an audience or anything like that. I put out these videos as warnings because I feel like a lot of other people are playing around with the supernatural. Even the people that a lot of you watching this video, you may view as experts because you watch their YouTube videos of them running around haunted houses. I think a lot of them are mocking the dead as well. A lot of them are mocking the supernatural. And I'm not saying no names. I'm not trying to take shots at anyone personally because I understand that this content can be enjoyable and entertaining. But when you have random people going and taking Ouija boards and doing all of this stuff in these houses and stuff, I don't think these people take it seriously. And they all got the thumbnails of them acting scared, and fake pictures of ghosts in the thumbnail. I don't know, maybe that's mocking the supernatural, right? So I do think it's important, while I understand I'm part of the problem by bringing more attention to Annabelle, I think it's important, as always, to have a voice of reason out there. Like, hey, maybe we shouldn't milk Annabelle for everything she's worth. Maybe we shouldn't take this doll on a tour of the United States. Maybe Annabelle shouldn't be part of a bed and breakfast. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to be a voice of reason while at the same time contributing to the problem, but I'm trying to help the problem, and we're all kind of stuck in this conundrum when it comes to Annabelle. And like I said, I'm just really worried because whatever is attached to her, if there is something attached to her, I don't know what to believe, but if there is, it damn sure has to be more powerful than ever because it's getting more attention than ever. And hell, they even got a new movie coming out in a couple of months with Annabelle in it. What more could this demonic entity ask for? It hit the jackpot, it hit the lottery. But let's go forward. Matt Frazier warns that Rife's plans to welcome the public to Ed and Lorraine Warren's home and their well-known museum filled with what are claimed to be haunted artifacts, which was closed in 2019, can endanger Matt Rife and others. Frazier said, "That is how the soul became attached in the first place. Spirits that have not crossed over feed off of attention. And the more fascination there is, the more active and aggressive the energy becomes. It is like dealing with a bully. You can yell, push back, and try to assert control, but in the end, you are left drained while the bully feels stronger. That is exactly how dark energy works. It pulls from your strength, your peace of mind, and your spiritual protection." He added, "The more it is acknowledged, the more power it gains. This is exactly why Ed and Lorraine Warren never wanted the Annabelle doll to be glorified or used for entertainment." He also believed that the late couple truly understood the danger that Annabelle possessed. Frazier said, "People think they are just observing something creepy, but what they are really doing is inviting chaos." He described the possessed items as spiritually active and said that these are tied to dark earthbound souls that never crossed over. So we have famous psychic mediums out here saying stuff like that, right? It really makes you worry. Because I've seen a lot of comments from people who are like really enthusiastic about Matt and his friend buying the museum and becoming part-time owners of these haunted objects. They seem to believe that they're the best people for the job. But a lot of other people in the paranormal community that have been around for years, including psychic mediums and even people related to Ed and Lorraine Warren, they're all like, this is a very bad idea. This is not a good idea at all. This is very dangerous. And look, I'm leaning towards their side. I have no problem with Matt. I have no problem with his friend that does the haunted videos. But when I'm looking at this situation, I more lean towards the other experts that are warning against this stuff. And how could you not be on that side of things? If you actually believe in the spirit world, if you believe in things like Annabelle, then you should definitely be on the side of, oh, we shouldn't be messing with this stuff too much. It needs to be taken seriously. And maybe it shouldn't be on tour being displayed to all of these people around the world, or at least around America. I feel like that's the most logical side of things that you could be on when it comes to this whole conversation. I don't think the logical side is, oh, I like this YouTube channel and this comedian. Sure, they should be the new part-time owners of all of these demonic objects. That sounds like a great idea. No, not really. You could be a fan and still say, hey, that's probably not a good idea. You could be a fan of my channel and think, hey, maybe Cinema Shogun shouldn't be the part-time owner of the Annabelle doll. And I would agree with you. So yeah, when I'm looking at this situation, I'm more on the side of caution as opposed to the side of, yeah, let's turn Annabelle into a bed and breakfast. Come spend the weekend with Annabelle. I don't know. I don't get people these days. I really don't. The internet, TikTok, everything has ruined people's brains. It is what it is, though. You guys let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.